Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Valpo Basketball Weekly, along with head coach Matt Loddick. I'm Todd Eichow. And Matt, we're going to start by, unfortunately, taking a look back at what was, again, another rough week. I think really some offensive woes in both ball games. And again, what we've talked about over the last few weeks, that lack of consistency, being able to string together good play without some lulls on the offensive end. And again, trusting the process you've talked about. But it has been a season of real kind of ups at the beginning and down over the past month and a half or so. Maybe give us maybe a ranking of what has gone wrong, what are the important things that have gone wrong, and how do we turn them around?
For us, the start of the year, obviously, the schedule was a little bit easier. But I also thought, and we had our full team intact, and we had set kind of an idea about, who the key members were going to be, especially to kind of shoulder the load offensively. And, when you lose one of those key members, we lost two in that span, but when you lose, one for the remainder of the season, it just, makes everyone higher on the depth chart. And so, we've put guys in roles and situations offensively that, maybe they just might not have the skill package for right now. And, we talked a little bit about, some inconsistency. Well, that's going to happen, when maybe your main responsibility or the thing that you do well isn't score, and we're asking you to do that. And so, as we look at kind of our conference season, we've had some consistency offensively. It hasn't been necessarily efficient, but we've had some consistency. Derek's been a relatively consistent scorer. And obviously there's games where he's not, but he has been. Tavon has been consistent, but I think it's, he's still trying to find the basket a little bit to be more of an efficient scorer. And then Bakari's been pretty consistent. The games that we've won, Jay's produced. We had a game, Marcus Golder produced, Max Joseph produced offensively. But again, it's hard because, some of those guys aren't, necessarily scorers. Like Jay, I think would, tell you that he's more of a defender and rebounder, sets solid screens, can get offense when, people create that offense for him. Max has been, great defensive kind of glue guy for his time here. And the games that we've won, he shot the ball great. Right. So, right now, kind of when we look at box scores, we'll have, three guys that'll have some points, and then it's, after that, it's tough. And so, we've just got to kind of, maybe some of our younger guys, growing up and kind of throwing in some baskets here and there. It's just, it's hard when they're just not necessarily ready to do it.
Okay, well, so where is the team mentally? What do they believe they can do here over the last 8 regular season games?
For us right now, we're looking at, okay, where are we making mistakes that we don't need to make? And a lot of it happens, and we talk, really, we've talked a lot about just finishing possessions defensively. And, for the way that we defend, everyone really has to do their job. We don't defend necessarily one-on-one and say, hey, you stop your man. We try to load the basketball, offer, a lot of help. And, in that situation, sometimes they might skip the basketball, put us in closeout situations. And, if you don't do your job on that closeout, or you're not there for the next rotation, you can give up some easy baskets. And really, the biggest thing then is just finishing possessions with rebounds. We have a lot of guys, and we've had to go small sometimes this year, but guys not blocking out, not finishing possessions. So I think for us, because it has been very challenging to score, we've got to do a good job on the defensive end and try to get out in transition, try to get the defense, scrambling a little bit, and score in that way.
The Valley has traditionally been a strong defensive league. The numbers show that they're very good. And that can frustrate teams who, let's face it, the Horizon League was not really good defensively for the most part, and the Valley is a complete opposite.
Yeah. So, as I look at the Horizon League, I thought we were the one, maybe not the one team, but we were, we went into games preparing to stop people. And for a long time, we led the league in defense, we led the league in rebounding. And then, we were able to manufacture. Number one, we had, an NBA, four-man, which obviously helps. But, we were just able to manufacture offense by getting stops, getting on the break, being more athletic. And, now we're in a league that prepares very similar to the way that we have for the last, decade. And so as I look kind of, how are we going to transition and move forward and be successful? It's like, well, I just think you need consistent outside production. Teams pack it in. Can you hit three-pointers consistently? Can you maybe get some offensive rebounds consistently? And so, that's just not been the makeup of our team. And, you look at the Illinois State game, and we had some good looks at three-pointers. We didn't hit one until about 3 minutes left in the game.
Right.
And so, as we project forward, we're just going to have to be more consistent, outside shooters.
Yeah, and we haven't touched on this, I think, all year, but the guy who's sitting out right now,
Yeah.
Ryan Fazekas, at least projects to be one of the better shooters in this league.
We hope so. I mean, he shoots it really well in practice. Ryan also has, the one thing, he makes shots. He's actually a very smart basketball player, defends his position well, understands rotations, finishes possessions well. So we're excited about that. Obviously we don't have him now, so not a lot to talk about there. But again, as we continue, it's this process, right? There's this, it's a brand new league. And, for us, the stats are the stats. We went from the 29th ranked league in the country, 29 out of 31, to the 8th ranked league. And I think we're one of 5 conferences in the country that every team has an RPI better than 200. And so, we're just in a much tougher league.
There are no easy games.
There's no easy games.
And obviously in the past there have been.
Yeah.
But if a Valpo fan comes up to Matt Laddick on the street and says, what can we be positive about over the next 8 games? How can we be excited about these next 8 games? Tell us.
Well, and I've said it's been pretty consistent. The one thing, that no one on our team has really lost is their fight. And as I would say that the default to our team right now, when things might not be going well, is to fight, is to battle, is to compete. That's their default. And so as a coach, I love that, and so, and we've just got to, do all that smarter. And, our margin for error is pretty small. And so, we've got to be able to, kind of steal baskets here and there. But, it is honestly, as we kind of look at the season as a whole right now, going through kind of what we went through with, sicknesses and suspensions, losing, really 13 points a game. I mean, that's right now, and our most consistent outside shooter. You got to look at it and say, wow, these guys have continued to battle. And the one thing that we're going to continue to do is work. And, obviously there's no easy games in this league. But as I look across the league, I do think that most teams have guys that can consistently hit shots from the outside and give you consistent buckets. And, with our youth, it's just been, guys might not be ready for that right now. So we're going to kind of try to find that and experiment. But, this team's got a lot of fight.
And Indiana State coming up on Wednesday as we go through now, facing the teams you've already faced before.
Yeah. Indiana State, I mean, they've got 2 really good guards. I mean, they can, both beat you. And so we're going to have to defend them well. Obviously, I like, their interior. I think they've been doing well. And they've been a little bit of a surprise in the league.
Yeah.
But I think, their ability to make outside shots consistently and defend has been good. So, we understand it's going to be a challenge. For us, we need that lid to come off the basket a little bit. We're just going to have to hit some shots. But, we're going to continue to work at it. I'm not going to, yell and scream at guys for missing shots. I know they're not trying to. So for us, it's, how can we defend? How can we get out, maybe in transition, try to get some easy baskets, and hopefully that lid comes off for us a little bit and feel like that Drake or that SIU game where we were really shooting the ball well.
All right, good luck this week, Matt.
Thank you.
For head coach Matt Laddick, this is Todd Eichow. Thanks for joining us this week on Valpo Basketball Weekly.